Okay, right, closing a player. Now, what you do, you'd go to the player you want to close. So we've just opened the Alexis Sanchez player in the previous video. So now we want to close him. So we'll go to close player. And again, we have the name and when we opened him. And then we can either change the share price, number of shares, we've got the commission that we paid, the dividends that we paid. And again, like I say, if it was a historical trade, so you're putting in trades you closed, say last week or even last month, then you can change the date here so the data is correct. All right, but we're closing it today. Let's say the share price we closed at was £5. We sold all the shares. Commission, not sure at the top of my head. Let's put like £5 commission. And obviously we got them £2 dividends, didn't we? So £2 dividends. Now I would recommend just going to your Football Index transaction history. Well, you'll find the commission you paid, and obviously you should be recording every time you get dividends in your journal. It's really important that as well, because that's the reason you should do this manually. So you're taking it in every time you get dividends. It should all be in your journal, so you'll know exactly how many dividends you got, so you can put that there. Closing date, we're doing it for now. Now, journal notes, it should be why you closed, what happened, as in did the trade go to plan? What would you do different? And actually profit or loss. All this stuff you should be talking about, because this is good for data. If you think, if I've done that, I would have profited, put that, because then that's in your data, and next time when you review it, you can see that and take that action in the next trade. So you can close player like that, and then Alexis Sanchez is now in our recently closed players. Okay, so you've got the open and the time and date, closed time and date, what price you opened at, what price you closed at, the commission you paid, dividends you received, and your total profit and loss here. Okay, so if you are in profit, it will be green. If you're in loss, it'll be red. If you break even, it'll be yellow. Now, if you make an error when closing a player, or you're doing a test trade or whatever, you can edit a recently closed player. Okay, so you have the date, the time, opened and closed. You can edit the name, the share price, number of shares, dividends, commission, and you can also delete the player. Right, so if you have made an error, you can edit and close the player as long as they are in your recently closed players. And you should get probably in here that, up to 20 players before they go into your closed player history, which I'll show you now. This is your entire closed player history. All right, and as you can see, I've got 3 pages worth. Now, once they go into here, all right, you cannot edit them. This is your permanent data. So if you do make an error, let's go back to the dashboard. You need to rectify that in your recently closed players. Now, like I said, you will get up to 20 players sitting in your recently closed players. So you shouldn't have an issue there. But if you do make an error, then just make sure you rectify it while they're still in your recently closed player. Because once they go to your closed player history, you can't do anything about it. It's in your data then. So let's just check the closed player history. Got Alexis Sanchez, the name obviously of the journal, opened on, closed on, price opened, price closed, commission, the dividends you received, profit and loss, and your journal. Okay, so if you click on your journal, that will bring up all the information that we wrote regarding this Alexis Sanchez trade. So that is the bulk of your data, and that will always be there. All right, another good thing in your closed player history, if you wanted to send the information to your Excel spreadsheet, you can export CSV, and also you can send this information to your website and export to HTML. So that's a good little option there. So you can combine with your spreadsheet all your trades you're doing the journal. Right, so what I'm going to talk about next, I'm going to show you a bit more about the journal and the task log, and we'll do that in the next video.